the way, he said that he's not going to rule out singing the national anthem.
Did he say that?
Yeah. He's still deciding.
We were talking off air. Although I'm for him being the manager, me personally, I wouldn't be offended. But I just think with all the noise that's actually going on, it depends what you want to see. If you want to see more chaos, sing it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what will offend people more, if he does or he doesn't. Honestly, I don't. Probably doesn't. I don't know.
They're going to go, well, he wanted to be our manager, he won't even sing. No, I think if he does, I think it will cause more.
Do you know what, Joe, what would, if we played Germany and he doesn't sing ours and sings sings the German one?
No, he can't do that. They can't do that.
Oh, my word.
That's taking a mick. He can't do that. Don't even suggest that on the airwaves. Don't even suggest that, mate.
This is The Social here on talkSPORT 2 with me, Olly Clink, alongside Flex. Now, of course, we've been speaking about Thomas Tuchel becoming the new England manager, but that has had a knock-on effect for Flex's club, Manchester United, as well, because Thomas Tuchel, of course, was kind of one of those names in the frame that could have taken over from Erik Ten Hag, who has been struggling, bless him. But obviously now that won't be something that happens. And Flex, you were saying it a bit earlier on, but as a Manchester United fan, do you feel that this is a bit of a blow? And just in terms of Manchester United's options, were they eventually amazed they haven't done it already? To be perfectly honest, but were they eventually to part ways with Erik Ten Hag? Does this really limit their options now?
Yeah, it does, but in the sense that Ineos, we're talking to Thomas Tuchel in the summer and decided for one reason or another not to go with him, you could argue that they didn't want him, and he was also free up until, October the 8th is what came out in the news of when he signed for England. He was also free up until that time. So Man United have had a couple of opportunities with Ineos to get Thomas Tuchel if they wanted. So from that perspective, from the business side of it and the decision maker side of it, they're looking to move on anyway. Me personally, I wanted Thomas Tuchel to be the next Man United manager. I think he was the leading candidate out of quite a small field of obvious choices. And now he's not in it.
But were you one of the only Manchester United?
No, not one of the only.
How split was it? Do you think?
Our community is
fans?
200,000 strong.
Yeah.
Probably 60-40.
Wanted it
in terms of what? Yeah. No, in terms of didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I was in the 40. I was in the 40. I mean, look, and you can never. It's online. You can't really truly quantify. But I just felt like most people I spoke to were like, "No, Flex." I agree, Ten Hag isn't the man, but Tuchel isn't the man to replace him. And I just pushed back on it. I think it'd be.
And that's because he would come in, be explosive, maybe win a cup and then leave. Is that kind of thing?
No, I just think he could. Not just win a cup and leave. No, I think he could put something down and get us to challenging for the Premier League. I really do, if given the time. I know there were things that he's done in previous clubs where he's fallen out with people, etc., etc. But I just trusted that he's been there at big clubs. He understands the pressure. He can handle the media really well. Maybe I'm being slightly biased because I was wooed by him twice last season when we played against Bayern, and I was in the pressers and asked him a couple of questions at Bayern and at Old Trafford. Mate, is he? But he's definitely not. But afterwards, I turned to my left. I said to the camera, I said to one of my colleagues, I went, "Oh, he's good, isn't it?" like he answered the question really long form and very similar to what we've just seen in that presser. And when you're just listening to him and you go, well,
impressive. Yeah.
He just the way he handles himself and the passion and not just that, his CV, mate.
At the second press conference, did you say hi, Tommy?
No, I said ATT. ATT, how you doing? Flex here, United view. Basically,
but you know that.
But yeah, I wanted him to be the next manager at Man United. But I'm so open.
I mean, it doesn't feel to me as if. I just can't. I can't see Erik Ten Hag, to be honest, putting together a decent enough run of results for the board to be like, do you know what, we'll see this guy out to the end of the season. I genuinely can't see it right now, and maybe things will change. But the worry I have is, so much of last season it was the injuries that was the big problem. And now that's not massively a problem. And he still doesn't know his best 11. And
he spent more money.
And he spent more money as well. So, that's the reason why I can't quite see it happening unless they really do want a properly mediocre season and just kind of say, well, there aren't the right options right now. So with Tuchel with England, who are the other options? Who right now You know, off the top of your head, are you now thinking, if we need to replace Erik Ten Hag, which is a huge possibility, who are you going to get in the door?
It's the next manager of Man United. I think it's safe to say, unless there's a real shock, won't be someone who's sort of been at the top of the game at a big club. I can't see it being someone like Ancelotti. You can't get Nagelsmann, you can't get Hansi Flick, you can't get Luis Enrique.
No.
You're probably not going to get Emery out of Villa.
No.
You know, so you can't. So the stock already, like Thomas Tuchel was probably the last one. You're not going to be able to get Klopp. You're not going to be able to get Pep.
Not going to get Eddie Howe. So
yeah, I said been at the big clubs. Yeah, the big ones. You know, not.
You're talking about an English manager there. Is that one?
Obviously, he's done his best work at Bournemouth, so just pound for pound, he's done better work. Pound for pound, he's done better work at Bournemouth.
Yeah, finished above Man United last season.
Yeah, for what, mate? No Europe, mate. You're doing nothing during midweek, mate. I'm going Turkey next week, mate. Where are you going, mate? But what was I even going to say? Why do you do this? Why this is your fault?
It's funny.
I forgot what I was saying. Who? Oh yes, who?
Yeah, who?
I'm so open to it because I'm not, even with the Thomas Tuchel thing that way I wanted him. It wasn't like you're idiots if you don't get him. He's the only saviour. Like if I'm not, completely against it being someone who's relatively inexperienced to try that if you think it's the right fit. We have to unearth a gem. We have to just find the right fit. There's enough evidence out there of matchmaking.
What is the right fit? Because Manchester United have literally tried everything.
Yeah.
They've tried proven winners. They've tried up-and-coming managers. So
for you
right now, what is the right fit?
It doesn't necessarily have to be inexperienced or experienced. That's not the be-all and end-all. It's just, are they a good coach? Can they improve players? Can they work with what's already there as a starter?
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to get back in and be able to change things, but can you get more out of what is here? Can you handle the media a bit better? The way you come across? Do you align with the vision of what Ineos want, which they've told us they want the team to play in an attacking, exciting brand of football? Do you fit that? And can you show signs of that fairly quickly? Not miracles. No one's expecting Man United to be challenging for the league now if you change the manager now or next year. You know, it's not going to happen. But can you show tangible upwards trajectory within a reasonable amount of time? And that's all they have to do. And if you can't within 2 years, you will be sacked as well.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing I don't get. We're in a sacking club. Then be a sacking club. Mate, Man United's culture was winning before. We've never had to be a sacking club because we've won for so long. And I want us to keep going until we get it right. As long as you give managers a decent amount of time, which I believe
They have
two
with Ten Hag
full
now.
years and then into the third, and 600 million is more than enough sample size to see whether it's going in the right. As long as you're not sacking managers after a few games or only 1 year, then fine.
Yeah. The issue is, though, it becomes that thing we've seen over the years now for a long time at Man United of manager goes, you get rid of the deadwood, in inverted commas, and then it starts again, new process. And the thing is, Ten Hag spent a lot of money and he's brought in a lot of players that are, let's be honest, not good enough and are his players.
Yes.
I think it's fair to say as well. Just very quickly too, obviously some big news this week about Manchester United letting go of Sir Alex Ferguson from his ambassadorial roles. It was a £2 million salary. We're hearing that it was pretty amicable, the decision as well, but Erik Ten Hag came out with a post. He really wasn't happy about it. How do you feel about it as a fan?
Yeah, I was very mixed emotions about it. I've got no problem with the club not living in the Sir Alex era. We have to build a new look Man United. There's not going to be another Sir Alex Ferguson ever, in my opinion. I don't think it will ever be replicated what he's done for this football club. I felt uneasy at how it was handled. I felt uneasy at the fact that a couple of £1 million a year. I just feel like Sir Alex should get to decide when he wants to walk away from an ambassadorial role or any role at the club. He's earned that. The reason why Man United can go 11, 12 years without a title and still be this relevant and still get the sponsorship that we get, to still have the global fan base that we've got, is because of this man. And I just felt a little bit uneasy that he was told that you're not doing this. Because that's what it was.
It wasn't him.
He's been relieved, hasn't he? Yeah, and that doesn't sit well with me.
Can I just ask you one thing though? And Jeremy might be able to help me with this. Actually, I think it was at Leeds, Howard Wilkinson. I think they might have been down in Division 2, and they held all these like pictures of Don Revie from the 70s and all the leagues they'd won, and Howard Wilkinson actually eventually said, no, can we take these down actually? Because they were putting more pressure, not just on the players, but on the club generally.
I get what you mean.
And eventually it brought success for Leeds. Is there any aspect of that in terms of Sir Alex being there and maybe some of that influence he might have had as an ambassadorial role? Is that a fair way to look at it?
I see where people come from with that, in terms of, again, you have to move on from that era, and but let's not act like Sir Alex Ferguson is chief decision maker, tell him what to do on transfers. He's not on that board that actually makes the decisions. But I get, you have to come away from his impact on that. I just think it has to be bit of 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Like, so having Sir Alex at home in his director's box shouldn't put pressure onto the player. It's a privilege, mate. It's a privilege to play for Man United, and with that, yes, comes pressure because of what Sir Alex Ferguson done. He's our most successful ever manager in the history of the club, and obviously with what Sir Matt did before that. Do you think that
influenced their decision at all?
No. Well, I think it's cost cutting. I think it's as simple as that. Why can't Sir Alex do it for free then? Do you know what I mean? If it's just cost cutting, say, okay, well, can we pay you half of this? So I just think Sir Alex should just get to choose when he leaves. But I do understand, business wise, for the club, tough decisions have to be made.